Live. Welcome, everyone, to the 55th episode of Playtest This. Tonight we have our special guest, Josh McBride. But first, let's introduce our star-studded panel: Wes Woodbury, Jack Dunbar, Sasha Jelton, and Wes Woodbury. Wes, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, I do have a split personality, so it makes sense that you've introduced me. I'm Wes with Fundamental Games and kind of a partner with Hammer Dog Games, currently promoting Forge, which is at Essen right now. But just happy to be here to play some games and see what you guys are cooking up.
Awesome. And Jack?
Yeah, Jack Dunbar. I'm from New Kingdom Gaming. I'm really excited to try your game tonight, Josh. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Sasha?
Hello, I'm Sasha Jelton. I am a designer in Portland, Oregon, and I also teach board game design to middle school and elementary school kids, and looking forward to playing.
Awesome. I'm Evan Halbert. I designed After the Empire, which you should go buy any copy that remains, especially multiple of them, because I make money every time you do that. Okay, so let's welcome Josh McBride. Tell us about yourself.
So yeah, I have been I grew up not exactly into board games, and then my wife was pregnant for our son. Actually, no, we had just had him, and we had a couple months of nothing, and an idea popped into my mind, and I cut some pink construction paper into tiny little, probably like 1 inch by 1 inch squares, and wrote down my ideas on the cards, and we played it, and we really liked it. So I bought some blank playing cards on Amazon, and we played that hundreds of times, loved it with a lot of different people. So I started designing. I'm a graphic designer by trade, and so I started designing some characters and icons and everything for it. And then a few months later, it turned into this. I kickstarted it. It's called Of Knights and Ninjas. I kickstarted it February, just about 4 years ago.
Cool.
And it'll be 4 years this February. And ever since then, my brain has been hopelessly programmed to game design instead of design other things. Yep. And so oftentimes my wife would wake up in the middle of the night, and I'd be like leaning over her, and she'd be like, "What's wrong?" And I'd be like, "You want me to tell you about my new game?" And she'd be like, "How about in the morning?" So yeah. So yeah, I really love the aspects of math and probability and strategy, especially trying to master your own game is an amazing experience when you have a game that's deep enough to so that you have to master it too. But so yeah, I've been doing that. It's been a little bit harder because I lived in Costa Rica, where I met my wife for the first several years, and now we're here for we've been here for 3 years. So I kickstarted Knights and Ninjas from Costa Rica, and when I got the pre-production copy, they FedExed it to me from AdMagic, and they sent me the copy by FedEx, but I was staying at a camp in the middle of nowhere that has, and Costa Rica doesn't even have addresses. So like when they were asking, what's your address? It'd be like, from the center of town, or usually it's like from the Catholic church in this town, you go this many blocks this way, and then that way, and then there's a house that has 2 palm trees. We're on the right of that, in a house with like green, siding, whatever.
That's amazing.
And that's how you give addresses, like even on envelopes, or whatever. So I gave this address. It was a little easier because it was like this Christian camp that had a name. But I was afraid that they were going to not find it, and I was super excited because I had been waiting on this thing for years, or over a year, excited to get my hands on the actual printed copy. And so it got there. I thought it was going to be a FedEx truck. It was more like a beat up pickup truck that was just driving through this town, tiny little town, and they saw me and they pulled over. Like I saw them, but I didn't think it could be FedEx in any way. They pulled over and they're like, "Hey, are you Josh?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We have a package for you." And they hand me this package and drive away. And I like heart pounding, open up my game and whatever. And I'm like, I can't believe I paid $600 for the pre-production copy that was just delivered to me by a guy who said, "Hey, are you Josh?" He handed me the package. And then that evening I got
That's
an
awesome.
email. That evening I got an email from FedEx saying it was delivered to the receptionist at the front desk.
Nice.
That's option.
Amazing.
But yeah. So anyway, prototyping is also very hard from here. I'm extremely excited that I have prototypes in time for this. I didn't back when I first asked you guys. I had some pages laminated, but
Yeah.
now I actually have some. Flip it around. I have some neoprene
Nice.
and actual chipboard pieces, so pretty excited about that. And yeah, a lot of times, like with the first game, people were playing all over Instagram and Facebook. They were posting pictures of Knights and Ninjas with their prototypes, and that was long before I ever got to see a prototype in my hand because I had ordered them from the States to someone who was sending them out. And so I was watching and like drooling over a prototype I'd never seen as it was being. But anyway, so I'm very happy to be here today. Hopefully the internet will not have any hiccups.
Yeah, I hope so too. Okay, so why don't you resituate your camera and give us a teach?
All right.
Yeah. And while you do, maybe you could tell us a little bit about the game that we're playing tonight.
Sure. So so this will be my third. My first one was of Knights and Ninjas. Second was called Haphazard, and it was more of a story than a game, but it had some game mechanics, more of an RPG. But it was actually I was fortunate to have some big name gamers be the voices of the characters in it,
Nice.
like Rodney Smith, Tom Vassell, Paula Deming, and Richard Hamm were four of the biggest names that voiced a character in that. This one is called Grumblestone, and let me grab the iPad real quick for the teach. 1 second. It's fine. Okay, so yeah, so Grumblestone. Kind of the story behind it is you think you are the biggest, baddest golem around, but unfortunately, every other golem thinks that they're the biggest, baddest, and so the arguments that break out lack dignity, and they are mostly consist of just grumbles and body slams and crunching, and yeah, that's kind of the story behind it. The last golem standing wins. So
Nice.
you see,
sounds like most of Evan and I's games.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the health tracker. We'll get to that as soon as your health goes from the starting health to 0, then you're eliminated from the game. Usually they're all eliminated close to the end of the game. So let me get that open here for the teach. Okay, so we have, and I'm going to show, if this doesn't work, let me know, but this is the screen from the iPad. I'm going to show a couple things as we go for you guys to maybe be able to visualize better. Can you see that well or not really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the objective, you're going to upgrade your golem. You're going to unlock its asymmetrical ability. You're going to try to reduce your rivals to piles of rubble. On your turn, you will first, let's do it this way. On your turn, first you'll tumble, which means you'll roll your dice and you'll assign them to, for example, in this case, you could assign to a 5 and a 1, and you would get all of the icons in that column and row. Because this symbol is in both the row and the column, then you would get that one twice. So in this case, you would get 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the column 1. So you would get 5. You would get 5 grumbles. So this is kind of the currency called grumbles. They might actually be more like the gems instead of coins in the actual game. So in this case, you would get 5 grumbles. Now, if you put the 5 here and the 1 here, you would only get 1, 2, and then the row 3. So you would have only gotten 3 instead of 5. As you go, you'll be upgrading. So on your turn, first you tumble, which will be roll and assign your dice. Then you rumble as many attacks as you have. Like this guy already starts with 2 attacks. So if you have, in this case, a 3 and a 6, let's say, you would get 1, 2, 3 attacks. And so you could choose any other rival golem to attack those 3. They would lose that many health, 1, 2, 3, minus as many shields as they have. So I'll tell you about that in just a minute. And then finally, so first you tumble, then you rumble, attack, and then you grumble. And grumbling is you take your grumbles and you can upgrade them. You can upgrade your grid by purchasing these. This is the upgrade board. It shows how much each one costs. So this one's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you purchase, let's say this one for 4 to put on your grid like that, then these all slide down and a new one comes out. And now this one would be 4 instead of 5, like it had been. And then, yeah, you try not to crumble. So these are the icons: the attack, the shield, the heart to heal yourself, and the grumbles. And the only icon that is passive. So everything is active except the shield. So let's say we put this one right here, which means, like, on our turn, because that means that while everybody else is taking a turn, I have a shield. Can you see that all right? I have a shield that is in both the row and the column that my dice are assigned to. So anyone who attacks me, it's going to be -2 of their attacks that they would damage me.
Yeah.
So shields are very helpful in this. There's also the hearts, which let you heal yourself. They're kind of the same thing as shields, but instead of giving you, say, a block with everyone else's turn, they give you so if, let's say, the shield, if everyone attacked me, then I would be saving 6 health. But if no one attacks me, then I would be saving nothing, basically. But the heart gives you helps you regen your golem. Now, each golem starts out with, and I'm going to mix these back in and draw some new ones for the game. Each golem starts with asymmetrical abilities. So we have, I'll just walk you through each one real quick. And I forgot to tell you these. So you can upgrade with the polyominoes to upgrade your grid, or you can buy one of these cards. These are perpetuals. I don't know if you can see it well. This is a perpetual shield. So that means that instead of having to have the shield be in that active row or column, if you buy this, then it stays with you. And that means that every time someone attacks you, it's -1. And this one is the perpetual attack. So every time you attack someone else, you're attacking them for 1 extra damage. These are available to purchase at any time, but they cost 10 grumbles instead of 3 to 7. So whenever you complete a column and a row with polyominoes, so let's make that happen real quick for the sake of visualizing it. Here we have row 2 completed. Not that there's an icon in each, but that there's a polyomino covering that whole row. And we have column 6 completed. Once you have both a row and a column completed, you unlock your ability, which will be on cards, but I'm just going to tell you what they are tonight because I don't have the cards finished yet. So, so that's how each golem can unlock their ability. The abilities are as follows. We'll start right here with Amber. So her ability is a hit back. Can you still hear me if I'm looking down this way?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so her ability is a hit back. Once she has a column in a row completed, anyone who attacks her will get hit back. Basically, they'll have to lose one of their health every time they attack her, despite how many shields they have. She'll hit them back once. So it's kind of a deterrent to attack Amber. Also, Amber starts with 5 coins, 5 grumbles, and 19 health, and 2 extra attack. No one else starts with attacks. Crumbleclad starts with only 1 coin instead of 5, starts with 23 health instead of 19, starts with 2 shields in the same spot instead of the attacks. And their ability is they can turn one time. It's a one-time ability instead of ongoing. One time during the game, they can turn all the grumbles into attack for that turn instead of the attacks. So basically, if we had, let's say, this, and they assigned their die 3, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attacks right there just with grumbles. And let's say this one was also a 3, they would have 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12. So they could attack someone for 12 if they had that set up on their board. They wouldn't get to use this attack on that one turn. Only the grumbles would be attacks. Hercules, her ability, so she starts out with 8 coins. And so then you can immediately, and no matter what you play, how you place your dice, you'll have at least 9 at the end of your first turn, which means you could potentially buy the first 3, because you buy this one for 3, they all shift down. Now there's another for 3, they all shift down. There's another for 3. So you could buy the 3 cheapest polyominoes and already get a bunch of your grid developed. And so her ability, once it's unlocked, is a free reroll. Any of the golems can reroll, but in order to reroll, you have to spend a life. So one of your health, you're spending to reroll a die. And you can do that unlimited times on your turn. So if you have a good board, but only in a certain spot, you may need to do that multiple times, especially if there's like, maybe you're down to the last 2 and you still have a lot of health and you're just trying to take them out, then you can reroll until you get that one that you want as many times as you want, with the risk that you are injuring yourself to do so. But Hercules gets 1 free reroll and starts out with 1 health. They're also the weakest. They start out with 16 of their health, but they can regenerate up to 19 in the early stages of the game if they have hearts. Finally, Sir Frostbite the 4th, his ability is once it's unlocked, each time that you tumble or roll your dice, you will also roll this light blue die, and that freezes that number on everyone else's grid, not your own. So basically, no one can use a 6. So if Amber rolled this 3 and 6, when this 6 was here, they would have to spend a heart in order to actually use this die and not just put it aside. They would have to spend a heart in order to re-roll it. Hopefully not another 6, or they would have to spend another one to re-roll to actually be able to use that die. So basically it just freezes that number up on everyone's grid. Are there any questions?
Can the freeze be re-rolled?
No. So it's when everything is rolled, then, and I don't know if you guys think that would be really cool, then I can probably think through that and see. I think I thought of that, but I didn't think of a situation that would actually be worth it. But
yeah,
possibly.
we'll just go with whatever the rule is right now.
Okay, so then no.
Okay.
And let me see if I missed any. The we'll just go with that, and I'll tell you if there's anything as I go. The polyominoes, especially in a two-player game, if you're ending up with some of the big polyominoes toward the end of the game and nobody can use them on your turn, before you buy a polyomino, you can say, okay, this doesn't fit on anyone's board, so I'm throwing that out and shifting all of them down. So, but that's usually only at the very end of a game with like 2 players. So we may not see that happen. I'm going to use this little crystal for active player. So the first player is always the golem with the fewest grumbles. So in this case, Crumbleclad will start first. There are 4 of you, right?
Yeah.
I don't have the full.
There's 2 of me.
How do you okay, so each of you can pick a golem, and remember who you are, and we'll just go. We'll start with Crumbleclad and then go around like this. So then Hercules, then Sir Frostbite, then Amber. Did any of their abilities stand out?
I'll be Amber.
Okay, I'll be.
Okay. Back Amber.
What's that one called?
Crumbleclad, Hercules.
What were the
Sir
2 abilities
Frostbite.
for those 2 up there? Hercules. And...
Crumbleclad is you can turn your grumbles into attacks. Instead of using attacks, you can use grumbles as attacks for 1 turn. It's a one-time ability.
And how do you distribute attack damage?
It's pretty strong. Say again.
How do you distribute
you can
attack
only
damage?
attack one other. You can attack one other golem on your turn.
Okay. And then what's Hercules' ability?
Hercules is a free reroll, but it also starts with 8 coins.
I'll be Hercules.
All right.
And when you say reroll, is it reroll both dice, or you can reroll 1 die?
1 die. So each time, so Hercules can reroll 1 die, and everyone else can reroll 1 die per heart that they spend.
Got it. I mean, I guess I'll be Crumbleclad.
Okay. And that would leave. I don't have the full setup on
Sir
here.
Frostbite.
Yeah, you get a
So
Wes.
Wesley is Sir Frostbite.
Makes sense. He is from the frozen north.
Yep.
I am from the tundra. My special ability is the freezing die. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So you have 21 health to start with and 2 coins. Amber has 19 health to start with and 5 coins. Crumbleclad has 23 health to start with and 1 coin. And Hercules has 16 health to start with and 8 coins.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
All right.
All right.
Take it away.
Crumbleclad. Give it a go.
Normally I have
Tumble.
a little bag for the polyominoes, but this time I'm going to just kind of
That's fine.
grab some.
Yep.
So tumble, rumble, grumble. Don't crumble.
Yeah.
Don't crumble.
Don't crumble now.
Okay.
All right.
I would like to.
All right.
Roll those dice.
Yes.
Crumbleclad's turn. You have a 2 and a 6. So you can tell me if
Perfect.
you want row or column.
Don't mess it up.
Well, the bottom 6 seems good.
Okay.
Yeah.
In this case, looks like
either
I
way.
guess it's the same either way.
Yeah.
So,
we'll go
$4.
1.
I will buy that $3. Wait, am I buying that $3? So can polyominoes overlap each other at all?
No, but they can overlap what's already there. So you could cover up what's there, but you can't cover up other polyominoes.
Got it. So, and I can't 100% tell, is the thing under the 4 cost, it has a double attack, a grumble,
Yes.
and a. Okay, got it. I guess I'll take the one with the double attack, and I'm gonna slot it. I think I'm going to put it so that can these be flipped over? Can they be inverted? Okay, got it. I guess can I do the single attack on column 2, row 6, and then the grumble on like that.
Okay. I'm going to give a strategy for all of you guys. It's nice to line up your attacks, because once people start having shields, your attacks won't do much if there's just a couple here and there. So
I see. So if it's like inverse, then they could line up. I guess either way.
So mainly is just be mindful of, if you have 2 attacks here and you want a bunch more attacks in this column, then you're going to be covering up all 3 of the grumbles, versus if you play it there, now you can make 4s be your strong attack.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Or you could do that.
Yeah, I guess I guess flip it over so the single attack is down at the bottom and the grumble and the double attack is in row 5. Or yeah. So the grumble and the double attack is in row 5.
The grumble
and
like
the
this.
double attack are in row 5.
Row 5.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It'd be a lesson in communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
That is my final answer.
Okay.
Have you ever done that experiment with peanut butter and jam where you have to give somebody directions on paper?
Yeah.
And
Written directions. I've seen videos of it. It's pretty funny.
Quite entertaining.
Okay, so all the stuff moves down in the market, and I'm done, right? I don't have any attack.
All right. Are you guys seeing a good screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that would be the end of your turn. So it moves on to
the market slides down, right?
Yes.
Got it.
4 and
Who
1.
did you attack? Did I miss that?
I didn't have any attack.
Oh, okay.
One is 2 grumbles and a shield.
Let's re-roll the 4.
You don't have that power unlocked yet, I don't think.
Well, you can always spend a health to do it.
You could spend a health to re-roll if you'd like.
You need a row and column to get the free one.
That's fine. I'll just do.
Unless you roll a 1 or a 4, though, it would be better. Like if you're planning to put the 1 here.
No, I'll leave it. I'll leave it as is.
Okay.
We know how much Evan likes to roll dice.
Yeah. I always love my luck. I'll take 3 rumbles. And then I will buy the number
you have enough to buy all 3 if you wanted.
Oh, that's right. Because the market moves down immediately.
Oh, right. I'm gonna buy, I think, that 5er. Yep.
Okay. Are you gonna buy any of these? Because this one will be cheaper once you buy one of those.
Well, that requires sequencing and planning.
And you don't have to place them until you have them all. So like if you wanted to buy all 3, you could take all 3 and puzzle them together. You don't have to place each one in succession.
I will buy the what is that? 2. What's on the 4? What's the 2 or on the 4? Shields and hits. Let's go with the 3 and then the new 4.
Okay. So that's 7.
Did I start with Grumble?
You started with 1 grumble.
One Grumble, got it.
You got 4,
And
and
then
so
I
you
spent 4. Yep.
4.
And then the 4 shots there. The single point is going to go row 3, column 5.
Row 3, column 5.
Yep. Yep, like that.
Okay.
Perfect. And then the other thing is going to go, let's see. How do I make that do what I want? That one is going to go, the shield is going to go in 1, 6. Yes. Like that. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
And I guess that's it.
And keep in mind that you can flip them over.
Oh, nah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's
All
already
right,
too much.
then,
That's already
guys.
too much for my brain.
Okay.
Don't start flipping anything.
Grumble, 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 grumble. Grumble 3 and 4. Or 4 and 3. My options. All right, we'll put the 4 on the top. The column, I guess you call it. And the 3, do I want to re-roll? Sure, knock a heart off. Let's roll this thing again.
Look at the other way too, because you have 2 grumbles and 1, so you have 3 total. Or here and here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I want a 1 though. I'm going to risk my heart for a 1. Let's try rolling one more time.
Okay, so leave the 4 up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Spend a heart, looking for a 1.
No such. All right, I'll leave it at that. I'll take my mighty 3, I guess.
So this
Or-
is 3 this way, but you could still go like this and grab 5 while you're at it.
Here, let's take the 5.
3, 4, 5.
Yep. 5. I will buy that number 3 there.
Okay. Anything else? You could still buy one of the first 2.
Yeah, I'll grab that number 3 again. And where to put these? All right. And if I unlock my power, the blue die gets rolled every turn or just one time in the game?
Every turn.
Every turn, and then that die is frozen for everybody else?
Yes, but it'll
Okay.
change each roll.
Yeah. All right, so let's put the Grumble upside down and in between so put the double Grumble 3 column 3 row 4.
Column row 3, 4 right there.
Yep. So let's do that. And then the other one, let's put the shields on top of the shield or above the shield. Right there, yep. That's
One
better.
die.
Let's do that. Or no, I like the other way. So that the double hit is with the 2. Yeah, like that.
Nice.
Ooh, that's my turn.
Fancy pantsy.
Cool. Let's tumble. Okay. 1 and 2. Yeah, I'll put the so row 1, column 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 grumbles. Gets me to 9. I'll take that 3.
That's a good one.
Yep. And then I'll take the 3.
That's a really good one.
Then I'll take the 3.
That's a good one.
Yeah, there we go.
Good choice.
Let's see. I'll do let's see how I want to do this with the Grumble. The S-shaped one there is kind of hard to place. What do I want to do? I think I want to. Yeah, that's what I was looking at actually. So yeah, the way you had it before is good. Row 3. Yeah, I like that. I like
Great.
that. Let's do that. And then let's do the 2 Grumble shield in spot 4/4. And then the 2 attack heart. Let's line those up so that you get put it in 3, put the double attack in 3/5 with the heart up.
Ooh,
Mhm.
Jack's
like
going big.
Mhm.
Yeah, there we
Somebody's getting hurt next round.
That's looking
Amber's
good.
on rampage.
You bet.
That's looking
All
good.
right, that's my turn.
Okay, I will choose to rumble.
All right.
How do you choose to rumble?
Uh-oh. Oh, there we go.
We're good.
4/3. Well, I guess I will take my powerful 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do I want
Free
to
roll,
re-roll?
free roll,
I
free
think
roll.
I'll pay 1 life to re-roll that for.
Yeah, you almost couldn't do worse.
Yeah.
There it
Yeah,
is.
there you go.
That sounds
Ooh,
good.
Nice.
big
Nice.
money, big money.
That's a good one.
Okay, so
Jeez.
my grumble amount is 7.
You have to,
Yeah,
you
so
have to
you
rumble
start with
before you grumble.
Oh, the attack happens first.
Yes.
Uh,
The
2
only
attack.
reason technically it could happen at the same time, but you can't upgrade. Like you can't buy
Mhm.
anything until the end of your
Mm-hmm.
until you activate all. So in this case,
Who's on Kafka's radar?
well,
What?
I don't really want to make Jack angry, or Amber rather. But at the same time,
He's going to get worse
once
later.
Amber gets the power online, then I don't want to attack Amber even more.
It's your
Well,
only chance.
I just have to hope that my fellow golems also care about.
Right now, Hercules has 1 shield, so you would
Yeah.
only do 1 damage to Hercules.
Yeah, not going after Hercules.
Oh, so
this
I
time.
gained that shield after the roll. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
And as long
Yeah.
as the dime's
So
there, you
some-
have the defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes like if you're getting close to the end of the game and everybody's going for you, sometimes putting the double shield
Yeah.
in the crossroads means you have 4.
Yeah. Interesting.
Stuff like that.
I will hit Amber
Okay.
for 2.
So-
First blood.
1, 2.
Man.
Yeah.
You have
Brutal.
I'll
7.
take damage later. Now I get my
So-
7, and I have a total of 8. I will buy the 3 slot. And then I
This
think
is
I'm just gonna buy the 3 slot again,
Yeah.
because that's just a bunch of junk.
It's everything.
Looks
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's one of each.
Yeah, I'll buy the 3 slot again.
Okay.
It also
That's pretty
fills
cool.
holes nicely. So
Mm-hmm.
And do I want to? How badly do I want to prioritize my power? I think I will put all of this in column 4.
ooh, look at you go. He's got first column.
Ciao.
Yeah, that or that.
Nice.
I guess I feel like I don't have any reason to do one or the other right now. I guess I'll do it the way that it is right now.
And at least you have your hits and your
and
grumbles.
then- Yeah, that will finish this column.
Nice. That's a powerhouse.
Makes one a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
Very cool.
and that was my turn.
Okay.
Alright.
Might go.
Okay, I'm not looking at the screen most of the time. You'll have to remind me who's who. Hercules is
Evan,
Evan.
That's me.
6,
So
Alright.
I'm going row 3, column 6.
you have 3 attack.
I do have 3 attack. And it's obvious that you got to get in on Amber while you can.
Yeah.
Man. Bummer.
Pile on, man.
All right,
Oh.
so
And
then
then
you get 3 grumbles and you have a passive shield.
I do have 3 grumbles. I will buy the 3. Beautiful. And I will stick that with the 2 bullets on the column 4. Yep.
Oh,
And then I will
Gonna get his power.
buy the 3.
There it is.
Yep. And I will do the
These are different ways that complete the ability.
yeah. Here, just set it down for a second. There we go.
Oh, keep spinning it. Confuse him.
Yes, my brain's like, wait.
Flip it.
decide.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Just
You guys, you're breaking my balls. You're breaking my balls. I'm gonna do
My grumbles.
breaking my grumps.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna do that 1. I'm gonna do it across the top there on that 1. Yeah. Yep.
Purple 1. You get grumbles. You get shields. You get hits.
That was 3 and 3.
3 and 3, yep.
Fill her up.
That's my turn.
Good. The piece I wanted is in the 3 slot.
There you
Good
go.
job. Roll them dice.
All right, and this is what
This is West. Yep. All right. A 6 and a 1. Let's put the 1 on the row and the 6 on the column. I'm not going to hit anybody today. I'm just going to buy some stuff. So I've got 6 grumbles.
7 total.
Let's buy that 3 first, and we're going to tuck it in the bottom left so that it fills that gap right up. Yep. And, oh, I see. So everything slides over, and I've got, what, 4 left?
Yep.
So I cannot afford, that 4 will not fit where I need it. But there's a couple of fancy shields there. You know what? I'll take the number 3 again.
The 4 could still finish your 5th row.
Yeah, but it's still no column.
Yeah, it's no column.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put that in the left to try to fill it so I don't cover up my grumbles. Is that possible? We rotate that around a bit.
This doesn't cover up any, but it also leaves you some hard spaces to fill.
I'm good with that.
You go with that?
Yep, let's do that. These 3 are fighting it out anyway. It's all good.
Okay.
I'm
Tumble.
I'm the quiet Canadian up north, so
Yeah.
Come
It's just
on.
gonna
3.
freeze us.
There it is. 3, 4.
There you go.
All right. Row 3, column
Bam.
4.
Uh-oh.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Attack.
8 attack.
Wow.
8.
we got to refill
Let's
the
see.
polyomino.
Sasha's got tons of health and no shields,
I have
so
one
let's
shield.
attack
I
him.
have 1 shield.
Whatever, he's just gonna have more.
He's got 1 active shield. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hit Sasha.
Sasha is crumpleclad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said 8, so 7.
Jesus.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 8.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I've got how many grumbles there? 2?
You have
2
Yes.
grumbles. Okay, and I can't do anything with single grumble because the perpetuals are 10, right?
right.
Okay. All right. I'm good.
All right.
Let's tumble.
Tumble grumble.
I guess I'll do my. Yeah, I'll do row 2, column 3.
Yeah.
And
3.
then that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.
6 grumbles and 3 attacks.
Yep, 6. I will buy a good old-fashioned 3 slot.
Who are you going to attack first?
Oh, I have to
3.
attack first. That's right. 1, 2, 3 attack. Well, Jack, I mean, I hit you for 3.
Man.
Ganging
You
up.
hit me for 7.
Ganging up.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I will buy the 3 slot or the 3 cost. And let's see, how do I want to do this? Probably I'm gonna turn on my power. I'm just deciding how exactly I want to do it.
I don't think you can turn on the power because you can't fill a row.
You can buy that
I can buy the 3
Oh,
slot,
yeah.
which would
Got
Yeah.
more money, big
Yeah.
spender.
Yeah. Big spender.
I will probably buy the 3 slot. Let me just think about it.
Oh, that lets you grumbles as attacks 1 time in the game, right?
Yeah.
One.
The thing
One
is I need to like have a decent number of grumbles still on my board to really be able to utilize it well. That the thing in the 3 slot is 2 grumbles and a heart, right?
In the 3.
At the 3 cost. No, sorry, the 3 cost thing.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess. So I had a 2 and a 3. Yeah, maybe since my power's only a 1-time use thing, I guess I'm not in any hurry. So in that case, let's go for some defense.
Defense.
Okay, let's put the long part of my piece in column 6 with the attack touching the double attack that is up high. No, I want it. Yeah, that one. So I currently have a shield, and then I'm also going to put the double shield on the intersection of my 2 and 3.
There.
Ooh, shield up.
Yeah. Shields up.
Wow.
You have 5
That's
shields.
4 shields. For 5, yeah.
My turn.
Cool.
That's a big deterrent.
Spill those polyominos.
3, 2, and he's got the reroll.
3.
Oh, free reroll. Yep.
2. I will re-roll the 3.
For free.
2, 2.
Well, I'll do 2 too.
I mean, you can use health to reroll again.
Yeah, chew it up.
Nope.
Life out.
Nope.
Right.
I'm doing.
You get 1 health. You have 1 attack.
I'm doing 1 damage to Sir Frostbite the 4th.
Got him.
5.
I've got
the
5.
only person that actually does anything to it.
All right, let's take a look at my market here. So now on number 4, that's 3 what? Grumbles?
Hits.
It's 3 hits. Yeah, this is the only polyomino that has 3 hits in the same spot.
Okay. I will buy the 3, and then I will buy the 3. And let's go. Let's put those hits let's put the 3 hits at 3-1. Yeah. And let's put and that's 2 grumbles and a heart.
Yes.
2 grumbles and a heart is gonna go right next to that. No, up and down in column 2 with the heart down. Yep. Like that. All right, that's it.
Ready to rumble?
Tumble, tumble, tumble. 1 and 3, 1 and 3. All right, 1 on the row, 3 on the column, please.
1 on the row, 3 on the column. Nice. Very nice.
A lot of money.
You have
How many-
2
How many hits is that? 1, 2, 2 hits. Who's the lucky one? Who's got shield up? I
One
cannot
shield.
touch Sasha.
no shields.
I'll have to slap Hercules back because they took a poke at me, and it's not kind. Not kind at all. All right, show
Nice.
me the grumbles. Show me the grumbles.
8
4,
grumbles.
5,
8.
8. Oh man,
I have 9 grumbles.
he's grumbling.
I'm gonna have to take that long one and slide it on the right. It's gonna cost me 6. It's the first time I've wanted to buy something other than 3, so let's do it. Does that make my freeze die roll this turn or next turn?
Next turn.
Well,
Or-
it's not a row or
Mhm.
column yet, right?
Or like that.
Oh, that's right. I have 2. That's okay. Yeah, put it there. That's fine the way it is there. Yep.
Okay.
I'm good. Sorry, I had to whack you back there, Evan. You took a couple hits.
Oh, did you get me?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, let's tumble. Rumble 4, 6. 6 is bad. I'm gonna re-roll it.
6 is very bad.
4, 4, 4. That's cool.
That's not
I'll
bad.
take 4 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get 2 hits. 2 hits.
So either of them are like
Hey,
either one.
come on, don't point at me.
Yeah, Wes is the healthiest, so let's hit him.
You're a
Just spread it around. Okay. And that gives me I got 2 shields, so that's cool. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grumbles?
Yep.
Plus
7.
I had 1 before, so 8. Sweet. That's
You have
great.
You have a total of
Okay.
9 because you had 2 from before.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. Good. All right. Let's buy that.
Vowel.
Yeah,
I'll
let's buy a vowel. Yeah,
Lovely,
so
lovely.
so let's buy the 3 and let's put the heart at 6. Oh, that's not what I was thinking, but that would work. I was thinking more yes. Yep. Yes. Yeah, I'll do that. I don't have a row or a column, do I?
Nope.
How many grumbles was that? 3? So I've got what, 6 left?
Yep. So you could buy 2 more if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'll take the. How am I gonna? Oh, you know what? I'll buy the 3, and I'll put those 2 shields at 5, 1. So in row 5 with,
Yep.
yeah, and then fill the 1. No, flip it so that the 2 shields fill the 5 row. Yeah, and then push it up. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I'll do that.
If you push it up, you've got more shields.
What's that?
If you push it up, you have those shields this turn.
That's true. I might kind of need that.
Not that I'm trying to help Amber.
What will it
because I
cover?
know that
What's that going to cover for me, Josh, if I do that?
2 grumbles.
You don't need
Instead of 1, so it's covering up 1 extra grumble.
I think that's okay.
But then you don't have a row
Yeah,
filled
but then
in.
you don't have your row.
The other option is that.
Yeah, no, I'll do it so that it fills the row. Yep.
Get that deterrent. You want to get that.
So that's
deterrent
3,
online.
and then I have 3 grumbles left, right, Josh?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. What's that last 3 there? It's row and then column. And I just can't fill a column. I don't know if I could even fit that 3 on my board. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, you can stick it over.
It is.
Yeah, you can stick it
Yeah.
there.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll put it right there over the 5 spot.
So here's the thing. If you don't want this one specifically, you'll
Mhm.
still have these 3 grumbles to spend next turn. So if you're not gonna, if you can't fill it, then you can always get something different next turn.
Oh, it's okay. I think I want to do that. So I want to
Okay.
put it with the attack over the 5. Yep, like that.
That or like that.
Yeah, let's grumble up that 4. Yeah, let's turn that around.
Make your 4 slot crazy.
Yeah, make the 4 slot even crazier.
Crazy 4s.
Yeah, let's do that.
it's using the term
half as good as crazy 8s.
grumble it up.
Yep, that works. Cool. Okay, so that's all my grumbles.
You're grumbleless. Amber has nothing. Take him off, Josh. Don't forget.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Josh, I'm ungrumbled.
all right.
Degrumbled. Okay. I will re-roll the 1.
You don't like that anymore?
2's much better.
Well,
I will do column 5, row 2.
Wow.
And then I have, is that
2
3
hits.
attack or 4
What's
attack?
4 attack?
4.
Those little
4
icons
attack,
are
and the
little.
shield values are currently Jack has 2 shield. And there's no shield on the other 2?
No,
Yep.
neither of us have shields right now.
I think Frosty needs to you started with more health than Hercules.
It's okay. We don't mind.
That's fine.
And
It's
what's my
fine.
grumble count?
2
2.
grumbles.
I will buy the 1 by 1. And it's what is it? Is a shield and 2 attack?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put it. I guess I'll put it.
That one was awful before, so
let's put it on. Oh yeah, I'm like trying to maximize space, but also like set up good turns. That like I was thinking about column 5, but I actually think I want to do it in column 3. So 3-3. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a 3-3. Boring, but that's what I'm doing.
All right.
Hercules.
Ooh.
All right,
3,
4
4.
and a 3. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
That's gonna be row 3 in column 4.
My goodness.
That is a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
You gain 2 health.
I
9?
gain 2 health.
2 health. 9 attack. My goodness.
9 attack. Who's got shields?
Don't gotta worry.
I
about
do.
it.
5. I have 6 or 5. 5. I have
I have
5
2.
shields. 2.
2 shields.
Sir Frostbite.
Oh man.
Bam.
I think
Big hit.
Yeah, I set myself up as
That was cold.
Okay. No grumbles.
Hey, I get
Wow.
it.
Oh,
0.
1 grumble. Yeah.
I got 1 grumble. I buy nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Invest.
See what I can do.
You now have this ability.
All right. To remind me how it works again.
Wait.
No one can use the 6 this turn.
Oh, so a column works. Like, how does he
Oh,
have
he
a
doesn't.
column?
Yeah, he doesn't have
I'm
a
not
column.
active yet, actually.
Oh
Say
yeah.
again.
I was asking how he has a column.
I'm not active yet, Josh.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
How it would work is no one would have been able to use a 6 until your next turn when you re-roll that die.
So we would just have to re-roll our 6s or not get a 6.
Right. Technically, if you're at one point, I had a situation where I was down to like 2 health left, and my wife had a 6, for example, and I rolled 2 6s, and I wasn't going to spend them, so I literally just lost my turn because I didn't want to lose health.
Mm-hmm.
Which means
Wow.
she took. So
that's some crappy rolls for me. Can't even find my shields. Bad.
you got some good coins going on there. 5
Yeah.
coins.
Ones don't do me any good when there's no shields to buy, so I'll be dead. That's okay. So 1 on the row and 4 on the column. So that's 5 hits. I'll throw them at the player with the most health. So I guess that's her to beat again.
That's me. I've got
Ooh, Evan.
0. I feel like by the time it's my turn again, I'm going to be pretty low.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grumbles I think I get. So I will grab the 3 there. And we'll put that on the top on the right-hand side, just so I can fill a row. Yep. And yeah, I don't think I can buy anything else because nothing else will fit in the grid. So that's my turn.
Okay.
Interesting. Oh, you do have one that would fit in the grid. That little
Yeah,
L
I don't-
shape.
I don't have them. Oh, I see. I could have spent 5 on that. That's all right.
You can go back
Okay.
to it if you want to.
You
I'm
rolled
good.
mine. 3
I'm
5.
good.
Okay.
3 5.
Wow.
There should be
Ooh.
one more tile in the market, right?
Yeah. Dude, that's your mega load right there.
I know. I
That's
know.
awesome.
I kind of want to 3 5.
That's great.
Yep, I'm gonna
10
do row
10
3,
attack?
column 5.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Row 3, column 5. Okay, let's see.
Jeez.
So what do I have there?
Jeez.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to, man. I don't want to waste it. It's going to Evan.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
They're here.
Yep. Hercules. And
Yep.
then let's see. So I take a heart.
I knew that was coming.
Nice. And then let's see. Got a shield, got 2 grumbles. 2 grumbles. That's it. I will wait.
I
Oh,
will
no.
re-roll one of the ones.
Start with one of them.
Yeah. 5 is better.
Mm-hmm.
I will re-roll the other one.
Yeah.
Did we?
It's all over. folks.
Josh? Is there a Josh there?
Oh, there we go.
There
Oh,
we
you
go.
got
There
you
he
got a
is.
5 and a 4.
Oh.
Okay, nice.
Okay, yeah, 4 in the column for sure.
Yeah.
Still here. 4 in the column.
And then
that's not bad. Yeah.
I'm gonna gain my health back that I just spent. So
1, 2.
um,
You got 3 shields, 5,
1, 2.
7 attacks.
Oh, I see.
7 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 7 attacks gonna go at Jack for 6.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
7 minus 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
6.
Sasha's reigning supreme.
We'll see. And then my grumble count is 2, 3.
3. 3.
I guess I'll buy the 3.
Yeah.
I don't have a place that I love it. I guess I will put it.
Beef up that 1.
Beefy.
Oh.
I also just sort of like feel like I could want to just ignore 1 and just always re-roll 1.
Yeah.
You got the health for it.
Let's put it in column 2, I think. Yeah, I think down like that.
Nice.
Okay.
That's my turn, I think.
Cool.
Evan's possible last turn.
Here we go. We'll see. We'll see what you all want to do with me. Yikes.
You want to pay health 3? Oh wait, no, you get a free reroll.
I will re-roll 6.
Hmm.
Hey now.
2.
Hey now.
Mm.
Give me my health back. Yep, I will go row 2, column 6. Row 2, column 4. That'll give me 2 health back, which won't save me, but you know.
That's huge.
And then I've got 5 hits. How many shields does Sasha have right now? 3? Oh my gosh. He's the person to beat.
He is.
Oh my gosh.
Take us down 1 by 1.
5. I could kill Wes, but I don't want to do that.
You sure can.
I would have a really bad hit on Sasha.
Take me down to 2.
Yeah, I'll take you down to 2. Great.
Cut him down to size.
Amber for 5.
4.
For
Well,
4.
that few
my
of them
shield.
is power, and she
perfect.
hasn't even activated yet.
Yeah.
I know. My
Amber
hit
for
back.
4.
It's like
Oh.
Frozen again.
And then I'll be getting
Did I end up giving you your 3 grumbles?
Not yet. So now I've got 4 grumble, and I will... What's on that? Does that 3 just have 3 grumbles there?
3 grumbles and
Is that what
Grumble,
the tinies are? Okay. I'm gonna put that. I'm just gonna
I think you
buy
can
it.
put that
I'm
one-
gonna buy
you can
that
put one anywhere.
4.
Oh, the 4.
I'm gonna buy the 4, and I will put it in that 5-6 column little section, and I'll put the heart where the 3 hits are in that 5 column.
I think he froze again.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
The heart is in the
Yep, just like
3rd row, 6th column.
that. Yeah, just like
Okay.
that.
All right.
Oh, I thought it was.
Tumble! Hey, I get the freeze die this time. For
Freeze
whatever
die?
good that does.
Oh yeah, you do.
Whatever that does.
Oh, I'm taking out my 6.
Because they're locked. All right, 2 and 4, 2 and 4, 2. I will definitely put the 2 in the 2 column, and I'll put the 4. I don't like the 4, but I'll put it in the grumble row. So I have a single hit. One single hit. Is there anybody without shields?
I have no shields.
You're my only targets, Evan. Sorry.
That's fine.
Take your 1 damage.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I'll grab my grumbles. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grumbles. So I'll
Whoa.
buy myself 1 shield card.
You have eight grumbles.
Yep, I will buy a shield card.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I will pass it to.
Okay,
So-
in this case, this one can't fit on anybody's, so it would be tossed out of the game.
Bam.
Oh, cool.
Ciao.
That's nice. Okay, so let's tumble.
Tumble grumble.
Get ready to rumble.
2-4.
Yep.
That's
Call
not so bad.
column 4, row 2.
Yeah.
You know they have the health to reroll and stuff.
Yeah, column 4, row 2. So, all right, I've got, let's see, 1, 2 hits. Is that all?
Health, 2 hits.
1 health.
3 hits,
Oh,
right?
3 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I heal. Did I already heal one?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. 3 hits will
Are you
land
sure?
on. Oh.
Kills Evan.
Yeah, let's take Evan out.
All right.
Sorry.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
3 hits. So I got a shield. Let's see. How many grumbles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 grumbles. That gets me to 10.
Yep.
I will take. Gets me to 10. I'll spend 3 to earn my hit back, and I'll take that grumble token. Yep, I'll take that one. And just put it on the bottom there to cover up those 2 grumbles. Yep. Slide it over. Yeah, and then slide it over to the right one so it fills up a row and a column. Yep.
And now he gets to deal damage when he gets hit.
Yep. Hit back.
He does.
Yeah.
Else 2 or no?
So 7, that's it. I'm good. Actually, no. What's that? What's that one piece? Is it 3
Triple
hits?
grumble. Triple
You
Oh,
grumble.
attack-
triple grumble. Triple grumble?
No, 2 attacks and 1 grumble.
Oh, 2
Oh, I see.
attacks and a grumble.
It's hard to see from here.
Yeah. I'll put that in 4, 6. Yep. Yeah. 3, and then that'll be it for me. So I'm down to 4. Okay. Cool.
You made Sasha's job easier, Jack. Now he only has to take out 2 of
Oh,
them.
actually, no, I'll spend 1 more 3 and I'll put a shield in 2.
There you go. Nice.
Get yourself.
Space 2. Just, yeah, row 2 so that the shield, slide it over 1. Yeah, there you go. At least give me 2 shield this turn.
Okay.
All right. Your turn, Sasha.
Okay.
Okay, it's
3
your
is
favorite
pretty
number
good.
1.
I'm gonna re-roll the 1.
The self-inflicting his damage here.
Oh,
I will re-roll that 1 again. Okay.
That'll
3.
do.
I'll take 3. Yeah.
That'll do.
5 attack.
So that will take out Jack.
But you're gonna hit back, you jerk.
Laugh.
It was worth it.
Yeah. I mean, Jack is very scary as far as damage output. I mean, Wes can also deal damage, but Jack can deal a crazy amount of damage.
Yeah.
And then you gave me my grumble. Okay. Oh, there's a double heart, a 1/1 double heart. That's interesting. No, I'm gonna take the three. I think I'm taking the 3 slot and just gonna put that shield in my 3 row.
Defense.
I like
defense.
that.
Yeah.
No, I don't want things in my 1 row. I want the shield in my 2. There we go. Thanks.
All right.
Slide it over. Whir. There's still a chance. Frosty still has a chance. All right,
Okay.
roll it up. Tumble.
Have 7 shields.
Oof.
7. Impossible. 5. 5 is locked.
2 and 4. So I'll put the 2 in the column and the 4 in the row. I won't be doing any hits this turn, but I'll take my grumbles. And I will purchase another shield.
You're up to 4 shield right now.
And do I have any money left? I have 2 money. 2 grumbles. All right, I'm good.
All right.
Let's tumble.
Tumble grumble.
Double 3s. Do I want to just run it back? That's 5 attack, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
So I will do, I guess, 1 damage. And then I get 4 grumble again.
Yep.
I gave you those damn hearts.
I'll take the double heart and put it in oh, I guess I do have a row and column now. So actually, I'm going to use my special ability and just deal 4 more damage.
So
it's instead of the attacks. That's right. So never mind. I am spending my 3 grumble to buy the 2 heart.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's no way that my power is going to be useful at this point. Let's see. I will put the 2. I guess I'll put it in that 1-by-1 spot. That's a grumble right now. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear this fan that's squeaking or no?
A little bit. Not too bad.
Not that much.
Okay.
That's the sound of the dead grumbling.
Yeah.
Oh, and the frost die, right?
Yeah.
6.
All right. So 5 I will put in the column, 1 in the row. I don't know if I deal any damage or not. I have 1, 2, 3 hits. Is that enough to deal any damage?
No.
Nope.
I do not think so.
All right. So for grumbles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 grumbles.
3, 6, 7, 8 grumbles.
All right. So I'll buy another shield.
Yeah.
And is that a limited
Okay.
resource? Like there's no more shield cards left?
There's no more shields. There's 3 attacks.
Okay, got it.
Shields up. Frosty, defense active.
So you currently have 6
right.
shields.
1 health.
Oh yeah, 1 health. 6 shields. Okay, that's hard to get through.
Yeah.
Right,
I will re-roll one of those ones to start.
Damn snake eyes.
I haven't gotten a 4 in a while. Oh, that's good. I will roll the other one. Double 4. I'll do double 4s. That sounds good to me. I'll gain 5 health. Or no,
Wow.
4 health.
4 health.
Yep, that's a big health.
And I have 4, 5 shields
7.
currently.
7 minus 6.
So yeah, 1. And then what's my grumble count? I have 1.
1.
So that gives me 3. I'll take the double hit, and I'll place it in column 5, not covering up the symbols. Actually, I I'll put it down one more, so it's like that.
Okay.
Just trying to live my lonely life up here.
Another 6 frozen.
Ooh, locked out at 6. Nice.
2 in the column, 1 in the row. So my hits is for 1, 2, 3.
Doesn't get
nothing.
through.
Doesn't
Got
get through. So grumbles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grumbles.
9. Yeah.
9, because that one's doubled. Yep. All right. So I will spend 5 for that middle piece, and I'll put it under the 1. Just up and down. Yep, that's good.
That way it puts it in row with 3.
Sounds good. Let's take that. Back to you, Sasha.
I'll take that. I'll do that makes sense. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attack.
Ooh,
Yep.
that might do it.
Down to 1. Down to 1.
Wow.
Great. And I also gain 2 health.
Wow, you're gonna be back up to starting health.
Mm-hmm.
And then my grumble count is 1, 2. I can't do anything with that, so that's my turn. Okay, I can't use ones.
I'm sure he's okay with
it.
So do I still use 1s or no?
Yeah, you still.
Yeah,
use
you
ones.
can.
All right. Looks like I'm going to be dead because I have no shield. So just put them wherever, and I'll pass the turn. It's over.
Well, you have
Let's see
to
what
shield.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got him down to 1.
Hey,
Very nice, Wes.
You got 5, 6.
You
Do you have
gain the
enough?
health.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy an attack card. Might as well.
Okay, let's
All right.
roll. Sure.
That does it.
I
Yep.
will gain a
Cracks
health.
the ice. Oof,
Yep.
Sasha. Man.
Yeah.
We were all
grumbled.
like, no, I'm not going to waste time attacking him. He's got shields.
Mm-hmm.
What were we thinking?
Shields seem
Mhm.
very good.
Yeah,
Um,
very
Sweet.
nice.
um,
Are you still there, Josh?
Definitely what gave Wes a chance. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
great.
Cool. Okay, let's move into feedback. Is there anything you want us to focus on, or do you just want to hear what we have to say first and then ask any follow-up questions?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool. Who's starting?
I can start.
Yeah.
I'll start and say, good game, Josh. It's a lot of fun. The turn structure I love. Normally, I don't like when like the turn structure is thematic because I feel like it's hard to remember. But I think the way that you did it, because Grumble is also the currency, actually makes it easier to remember. So tumble, rumble, grumble. That works. That works pretty well. From the very beginning, I knew exactly what to do on my turn, so that was really nice. I feel like the weight of the game is great. It's relatively easy to teach and learn. I think your teach was like 15 minutes, but you were going into a lot of detail. So I think you could teach this game in under 5. And get people playing it, playing it relatively quickly. I had a couple of thoughts about balance. Like, is Petrox, like, does he always win, or
No, I think it was really how he placed his shields. He was getting shields every time.
Yeah, lots of shields. Yeah, it's very interesting.
So, because if you think about it, he only has, let's see, he only has 7 hearts more than the weakest player, and he starts with 1 coin instead of 8. so that really limits his start game. And then also he has a one-time ability instead of ongoing.
Mm-hmm. Have you played with any other like other ways of unlocking your special abilities aside from completing a row in a column?
I'm gonna unplug this fan just a second.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, so originally it was one. It was like just a column or a row.
Mm-hmm.
And that worked fine, but most everybody got it on their first turn. And I wanted it to be something that you can work toward if you want. Technically, Hercules often gets it on their first turn because with the 9, you can somehow piece together, especially when you get some of the long ones like this one, you can piece them together and complete it within the first turn or two.
Yeah. The only real area that I had for improvement that I would suggest, I think the other things, I mean, I liked a lot about this game. I like the spatial puzzle element. I like the simple turn structure. I like the theme and the mechanics. I think they're fun. It goes together well. Makes sense as a dice game where you're rolling rocks like that. That's awesome. You have enough decisions to make. So yeah, I have a lot of good things to say about the game. The one thing I would say is buying all of your pieces and then deciding what to do with them. I think especially in a spatial game, like it could create, it's the one area that I feel like could slow down the gameplay if you can buy all of your pieces and then place them versus like buy a piece, place a piece, buy a piece, place a piece. I'm just curious if you've played with that the other way.
So the reason I put the structure tumble, rumble, grumble is so that the end of your turn is you're placing your pieces while the next person is rolling.
Okay.
But technically it can be. The only thing with that is, if you decide whether to change where you're placing your shield or not, depending upon if the other person gets attacks. But that's technically something you should think through, not like depend where you're going to place your pieces based on what they roll.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you think, like, I like that part of it because I like to place the, kind of puzzle them all together at once versus, in a sense, it almost might take more paralysis if you're trying to place one piece but trying to figure out what you're going to buy that's still up there to place it mentally before you place this piece so that you don't make a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think maybe I don't know. I didn't see your turn. What did your turn card say on it under Grumble?
So it says upgrade your grid. So
okay.
Damage, block attacks, heal yourself, upgrade grid.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it could be written with a very simple rule that's like buy pieces, then place pieces. So it's just like very sequential and doesn't cause any confusion. But that was the one area that I saw could potentially throw people in a game that otherwise moves very quickly and is very streamlined. So okay. Yeah, nice work on the design. And I'll turn it over to next.
I'll jump up. Yeah. So Grumblestone, love the name. Again, I like tumble, rumble, grumble. I was grumbling all game. It just likes how it rolls off the tongue. So great job on the theme. The neoprene playmats, the different colors and imagery stands out. Might be a bit too much space for the art, but if that's the intent as a selling point, then it's great. I think the bottom of the art area, that could be used to in small text to have the turn sequence as a reminder, or it could have the character ability there once you're certain what you want it to be. But I can understand why it's not on there now as a prototype because you're still working through changes.
So originally, the reason that originally I had the ability written on it, like under the golem, but then I changed because instead of just having 4 abilities, I have about 12 abilities, and you can either play with their default ability, like Amber's default ability, or you can draft abilities at the beginning of the game. So that way the ability is modular.
Yeah, makes sense. What else? So the grid on the player mats looks great. It worked well in the game. So I liked having the grumbles and the hearts and the shields on there at the start. So you already have something to work with, but then you're building around it, but also over top of it to try to get your row and column for your ability. So I liked how that works. Polyomino games can be a challenge, and I think you've accomplished the harder part of that challenge to make where you place things matter. In terms of rolling the dice each turn and trying to maximize the output of each die roll. So I liked that. I disliked the market purchase mechanic. The part I dislike is the being able to buy 3, watch it shift, then buy 3, then watch it shift. I think it adds a bit more importance to the economy if once I buy a 3, I can't buy another 3 till my next round. I like if I really want that 5, I have to spend that 5 now. I can't just buy 3. I think it gives too much advantage to the player. That's just my personal opinion. Take it with you will. You probably playtested this quite a few times.
Almost like, because I had been playtesting it that way as well. And I think with the 2-player and solo play, I liked it better with the 3, but it did feel like it just makes it a little bit more chaotic, almost like you're picking the 3 because it's the cheapest, so it makes the most sense to get several 3s. What if I figured out maybe how to put an extra grumble on everyone's grid and or starting, and started the board at 4, like 4 to 8 instead of 3 to 7.
I'm not sure the perfect solution to it. I just that's just my feeling. Is it just felt like it was too easy to get tiles, multiple tiles when they replaced each turn, and when they slid. If they didn't slide, I think that would make the big difference. Where if I really wanted that 4, I've got to spend the 4 and the 3 and have the 7 grumbles. The other part I thought in terms of economy is it was great to grab the shield cards in the end, but it made no sense in the beginning. So for the first half of the game, nobody looked at the cards because the economy didn't make sense to buy them. And I don't know if there's a fix or if that's the intention, is the cards get purchased later.
If the polyominoes didn't slide, it might actually kind of fix that, because then everything is a little bit more expensive. And so by in the same way, indirectly, those would be cheaper, because if
true.
And the other thing is I played with a guy in Albania, I think it was, or Bulgaria, somewhere far away, just like over video like this, and he ended up, he got some of these polyominoes that have a lot of grumbles, and he ended up just all the perpetuals. He actually, his board was almost nothing. He had a couple good things by the end of the game, but I had my full grid, and he actually beat me just by buying perpetuals instead.
Yeah, like I can definitely see the benefit of the cards. They're just hard to make worthwhile in the early game, but so maybe they're balanced. It just felt in that particular game that I didn't want to get them early, and I didn't see anybody else buying them because it felt more important to grab the grid.
I'd be per Wes's point, I'd be super interested in testing the market without them sliding. I think it just might create a simple experience. It'd just be interesting to see what it's like.
Okay.
One of the recommendations I had for shields is because when you're playing 4-player, it's probably different online than in person. But if you're playing in person and you're spread far apart, you're going to always be asking your opponents, "What are your shields? What are your shields?" Yeah. So if you had some kind of a shield counter, maybe it's just a die that has 1 to 6, and whatever number they have is how many shields they have, because very unlikely somebody's going to have more than 6 shields anyway, unless they have the cards. And that might be a quick visual instead of constantly asking about shields. Or maybe it's tokens, or maybe it's something else. But that would be, for attacks, it doesn't really matter. For hearts, it doesn't matter. It's only shields that came up as a constant adding up question. Okay. The reroll aspect, I liked that you could spend life to reroll, so you added a little bit of dice manipulation in there. I don't know if it would be too game breaking to make it spend 2 life to just adjust your die by 1, kind of like you do in Castles of Burgundy or something like that. That's it's a thought, because whenever you're playing dice rolling games, and I'm sure Evan can attest to it, you're at the mercy of the roll. And if the roll costs you life to re-roll, you want to be able to have more control than just randomly re-rolling the same number.
Right.
So if you spend a life to just rotate the die, or to flip the die onto the other side or something like that, sometimes that can feel more meaningful than randomly rolling the same number.
Right.
For the abilities, I felt out of the whole game, like I did enjoy the game, but I felt that the abilities had the least impact. Where at the beginning of the game, we were, I think that was the most exciting part, is that we have these powers that we can unlock, but then when we unlocked them, they had no effect. So my ice die, no effect. I couldn't control it. It was random, and the randomness never had any impact on the game. And for Sasha's, he looked forward to getting his ability and then realized he covered up everything that his ability had relevance for. And for Jack, by the he never got to his ability, and for Evan, just let him re-roll numbers that he didn't really want. So I feel that the powers are exciting, but at the same time, they ended up lackluster in this particular game. But if there's different powers out there and we were just playing with the entry level powers, then maybe that's why. But I feel if we're going to earn the unlock, the power that you get, you should have some ability to control the game with, instead of still being at the mercy of the game. But I still enjoyed the interaction of the players, deciding who to attack based on shield and who had the most health and who felt like the most threat. So there's a little bit of interplay there. And yeah, I had fun with it. So.
Okay. Yeah. All good ideas.
Real quick, Josh, from the chat, Bob Whitley says, there's a lot of really neat mechanical things going on. I'd prefer if the market didn't update during the turn, only after, so you're getting what you want but can't update it. So similar feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah. So first of all, I really liked the core of this game. I think the sort of it's feeling like it's feeling close. There's a couple of things I think that I think led to some not great feelings, but I think they could be adjusted just a little bit, and then it would all be fantastic. I think the sort of look, the feel, the theme, everything feels really good, and I think is very approachable, and is also a game that kids would love. Like, the decisions are not like super complex, but there's are times where they can feel meaningful, and the flow of the game is pretty quick once everyone sort of understands how the game works. I think the core of the game is really sweet. I wrote down a bunch of stuff in a sort of list. I'm going to sort of go through my list. I'll do my best to try and keep what I say organized, because my notes aren't always super organized. So one of the first things I wrote was choosing a player to attack. It felt like it was just whoever has the least shields, you hit them, which that's not inherently wrong, but it does sort of lead to the person that is sort of falling behind getting like pummeled more, which that I feel like could be a little bit of a bad feeling. Obviously, the sort of weight and the style of game, there's wiggle room with that, but I think there was a little bit of a in my mind, I was sort of thinking to like King of Tokyo, where you either are hitting this person that is sort of doing the best, or is like in the city, or if you're in the city, you're hitting everyone else. Like, there's not like you are behind and you're not in a good position, I'm hitting you because you are behind and not in a good position. That, to me, it doesn't really feel good as the attacker, and I can't imagine it feels good as the person getting sort of pummeled on. I felt like I was in a good position where I always had a good amount of shield, and so I don't know if it felt bad from the other seats, but from my seat, it seemed like that would feel bad.
So do you have any suggestions or other games maybe that do that better?
My first sort of thought was if the sort of damage and or shield like average damage or shield amount on tiles was brought down a little bit, and then damage just hit everyone else. And so there's not like whoever's the furthest behind. It's just like you want to build up shields so that you don't get hurt, but you're not gonna just get targeted by every person. Whereas like there was a couple of times where people could have attacked me with their attack, but it was just less efficient to attack me, and so I just wouldn't take any damage. And I think if it was just getting spread out amongst everyone, there would be a little bit more of an opportunity to, I don't know. That's just one thought. You would definitely have to change the amount of average hits and the amount of average shields to sort of balance that out. But that'd be something that I'd be interested in playing, that version of the game, is where it's not just the weakest person gets pummeled.
What one kind of option you could do, let's say you did have a shield counter. Anytime you get hit, you get a shield up by 1 until your next turn. That could kind of defeat the multiple hits in a row, or just kind of a temporary buff until your next turn. Then it goes back, it resets again.
Mm-hmm.
That could certainly help it. It did seem like the who you're attacking felt a little bit like a non-decision. If there was anyone that had less shield, it sort of felt like you just
I felt
always
very targeted by Evan. I mean, he was all over.
At the beginning of the game, no one had shield, so you had a choice. But like as the game sort of progressed, it felt like, okay, how much shield do you have? Okay, how much shield do you have? Okay, you have less shield. I'm attacking you.
Yeah, we could have started ganging up on Sasha if we could have counted down his shield. So that would have changed the dynamics of our match quite a bit.
Oh, so you're saying, yeah, you like can chip away at shield?
Yeah, so you start with 5 shield. I hit you for 5. Now you have no shield. Then Wes can hit you.
That would be interesting. And so yeah, you could just have little shield chits, and so that when you gain the shield, you just get those chits in front of you. That's easy to see how much shield you have, and that's just kind of absorbing. That makes it even more like hearts.
Yeah.
But
and then it just goes away at the end of your turn.
Yeah, it goes away,
like,
whereas heart stays.
Hearts permanently.
Yeah. Anyways, moving. But just I wanted to emphasize that I think that was one of the main sort of things that I think needs a slight tweak, or at least in my view, if that was slightly tweaked and felt less feel bad from certain seats, then I would bring up this game a lot. I think it's already quite good, but I think getting that point correct, I think would do a lot for it.
Question about that. With further plays, do you think that, because you said it was kind of a non-decision as to who you're attacking, would you think that with further plays with other people that know what they're doing, that the thought would come in on what shields you're buying, where you're placing them, and so it would almost make it more like, instead of it just being thoughtless, it would be thought for the puzzling of the grid, so that that doesn't happen, because you happen to get, you have three with double shields and 4 with single shields, and Wes has 1 with double shields and 3 with single shields, and so like it brings the shields that much more valuable to play. So each icon.
The only issue with that, Josh, is you don't always have control of whether you can get more shields or not.
And yeah, and to that point, I did feel very grumble starved the whole game, and so I was pretty much always just taking whatever was in the 3 slots. And I think there was 1 or 2 times that I bought something in a 4 slot and didn't buy the thing in a 3 slot, just because it was slightly better. But most of the time it was a little bit random what I got, and it was just me sort of deciding how I positioned it on my board, which is, I don't think that is necessarily bad, but as far as like the amount of shields I got, that I felt random to me. I didn't feel like I actively chose. I saw them as being good, but I also lucked out in just having them available to me on my turn.
So be helped without the refreshing.
Yeah, certainly. I would definitely have had a lot more challenging of a game without that refreshing, because I did feel somewhat grumble starved. But yeah, Evan, was there something you're gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, adding on to that is, I think I bought a decent amount of shields. I just never rolled them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So then I
Evan
never
was
had shields.
Evan was her
Achilles.
the
Hercules only had 2 shields, but had a bunch of hearts.
Oh, I only had 2 shields. I was
Yeah.
looking at those grumbles. I thought those were double shields. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
But yeah, the other thing that my sort of little decisions in buying from the market that I did make, I was specifically choosing small things that had high icon density, because it did give me a lot of flexibility later on with my positioning of
that is
things.
what sets apart a valuable. Let's see. Here's one, and here's one. So if you look, this has 4 icons. They're great icons. It's one of my favorite polyominoes, but it takes up squares. This one has 4 icons in 1 square. So this one is worth so much more than this one.
Yeah.
And
that definitely seemed good to me. I originally, when I chose my character, I was like, oh, I want to get my power online and like really smack someone. And then after the first turn or two, I was like, actually, what if I sort of don't care that much about my power and just have super high density and just try and make it so that what I get a lot of stuff. And yeah, I think that's good. But if the market worked slightly differently, then I think I would have felt a little bit more strategy in that part, which I think would have been good. Okay. Frost seemed like it was before we actually started playing. I thought Frost was going to seem very strong in that locking down a number could be really annoying or strong. It just so happened that it didn't actually affect anyone, but it would have been pretty crushing if it ever rolled a 4 for me, because 4 was like my super good row, and just
it's
never
not
did.
unusual for Canada to have no impact on the world. So.
but like that felt, I was worried that was going to feel really bad during the game, and it didn't feel bad because it just never hit anything. If it rolled 4 couple turns in a row, that would have felt bad for me, because I was already ignoring my 1, and so then I also had to ignore 4, which was like my best number. So that was just a note. I don't necessarily have a specific fix for that, but what Wes was saying about having powers be something that you have a little bit more control over might be nice.
I was trying to balance the incentive for buying the best polyominoes, which are usually the smallest ones with the most icons, but it kind of like making the most efficient grid, so lining up all of your attacks, or rushing to get your ability. So like I feel like all 4 of you went about the same speed, but sometimes when one person goes for perpetuals and doesn't go for the ability, and another person goes like and gets the ability the second turn, and kind of like those would kind of be balanced amongst each other, so that you could kind of pick a strategy and go for it. Do you think that, because originally I had the A column or row, but for example, if you have this and anything else, you already have it. So or technically most of them have, a 3 and a 3, you have it too. So if it was just 1 row or 1 column, then most everybody would have it right away, which could be okay if you think that is the most exciting part of your golem.
To me, the row and column, like the challenge of getting rolling columns didn't feel that hard. I didn't feel like that was too hard. I just felt like maybe some of the powers should be a little bit better, for, because it does sort of like when you go for it, it does make future plays potentially more challenging. And so I don't know, I feel like the payoff needs to be good, and or you have to have control over it. Just a random thought, maybe this would be too annoying to do, but if like the frost one, when you got your power, you got like 1x1 squares, or like a 2x1 square, and you got to like place it on someone's board and be like cover like two of the squares on their board or something, just so like you have a choice, like, oh, you got a really powerful square right here, I'm gonna like cover that with my frost ability or something. I don't know if that is the right choice, but it would be a way that Wes would have a little bit more control over turning that power on, that he like worked for, and then sort of made his future placements more challenging.
Right.
Yeah.
Or it could be the idea of just being able to manipulate that die as well, by re-rolling with a heart or 2 hearts to change it to a 1 up or 1 down.
I would be scared about that as far as power level goes, from my seat, just because if he could consistently put it on 4, it would like feel pretty bad because I invested so much on my 4 row. But yeah, I think it's something to play around with. It's not a big deal, so I don't mean to like hang on this point too much. I prefer if damage was spread. I said that before. Frost die being rolled. Put pieces in different card spot permit. Oh, this was just a little thing when Wes was talking about the abilities on the player mats. I think it was Wes that was saying abilities on player mats. And you were talking about how there's different abilities, and that was sort of the reason for that. I think having like a card shaped spot where it explains the ability, and then you can just get a different ability and put it over that card slot, just so that you know what the default ability is on each of the characters, and if you wanted to play with new abilities, you could just place a ability card on top of it or whatever. That's everything that I wrote down here. Just to sort of circle back, I do really like this game. I think the core of it is really solid, and it has a lot of appeal, and is pretty simple and easy to start learning. The biggest points for me from this play experience that I think really sort of addressing these issues would make this game like super rock solid. Grumble solid.
Nice.
Is
stony.
Getting that market, the way that the market works, locked in and feeling good, and then also sort of addressing the pummeling the person that is behind kind of feeling.
Can you guys any way to make the market less exciting or less necessary to always buy the 3 spot? Because in a sense, not having them slide down would help a little bit, because you can't just buy 3, 3, and 3 or whatever. But at the same time, it's going to make Grumbles that much more in demand, because everything will be a little bit more expensive. So will people still fall back into always buying the 3 and maybe the 3 and the 4 because those are the only ones they can afford?
Potentially. The thing is if I have 6 Grumble, I am getting 1 piece, and so I'm gonna pick the best piece for my board.
Yeah, and I would also say the other thing is it'll give people more of attention, more of that feeling of like, should I save? Should I save up and hold my Grumbles? So say you have 8 Grumbles, you might tell yourself, oh, I really want that 7, or I could buy that 4 now, and then maybe I'll work towards that 10. It just gives you a little bit more decision space, I think, with your purchasing. And I think it would speed the game up because I think it just makes the market phase a little bit faster because there are less decisions.
Yeah, when my choice was between, like, if I had six Grumble and my choice was, do I get 2 pieces or do I buy 1 piece that I specifically want? It's like, well, getting 2 pieces seems just much better. So that's always what I did. So I think that's sort of where I'm at with it, is like, I think if the market didn't slide down, I would think about buying things higher up, even if it was ultimately less efficient.
Okay. What if it was also like 3, 4, 5, 5, or 3, 4, 4, 5, 5?
I definitely think that is something that you could also play around with that would help if you don't want to, like, just make it the things at the top, just no one ever buys them, which I feel like that's sort of how it is currently. But yeah, sort of bringing down the average cost, but then they don't slide down. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Cool. I'll pass it off to Evan. I'll probably think of other things while Evan's talking, but
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
One of the little exception rules that I'm not sure how to fix it, but I just don't love that it's an exception rule, is trying to constantly evaluate what polyominoes do or don't fit on each player's board. So if there's some other way of refreshing a market piece that is unusable, I would love that.
With the idea of always refreshing the polyomino.
Oh, he hated it.
got a little frozen. Can't currently hear.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry, we missed your answer.
Yeah, if someone doesn't buy any of them, the 3 always goes, just to keep things moving along.
Mm-hmm.
Which almost never happens. The main reason I made that rule is when you're playing 2-player and your grids, because in this game there's only 5 polyominoes that only 4 that aren't in the market or on someone's board. And so technically, out of all the spaces, you could fill up everyone's board except for 4 spaces with the polyominoes that I have right now. So, but when you're playing 2 players, there's a lot. Suddenly, you're getting a bunch of big ones that you don't need as your grid is starting to fill up, especially when the grids are like this, like that one and this one. If these were playing 2 players and you had that as your market, you wouldn't be able to play any of them on either board. And so that was mainly just for, like, as you're playing, you feel like, oh, I can't use any of them. I'm gonna drop all of, and it's not just you, but like nobody can use any of them, so they all get tossed from the game.
Yeah, I would just love some, mechanically inclusive way to handle that, rather than just where you have to constantly evaluate and see if those tiles exist.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what Bob's talking about. Bob says, I think the grid on the monster boards could use being a little bigger so folks can see the icons across the table, including for the market. The art looks cool, has good table presence, and looks easy to learn. I'd put what the icons mean on the player board or a reference card.
Okay.
What if you could pay to buy a heart? That's interesting. I don't have a problem with the market sliding. I just not let them slide down during your turn. Just a thought. What if you could buy a piece that can't fit on a board and use it up to your heart? Oh, to up your heart. Oh, I see.
So like if you buy the piece, then as many icons are on that piece or something, you get that many hearts. No, that might be too powerful.
Or just
But
maybe 1 heart,
yeah.
Who knows? Or 2 hearts. I don't know. Whatever the thing is. That's a good way of getting rid of making it okay that some pieces are not usable.
Yeah. True.
Okay. Unlimited re-rolling. Like, for me, dice luck is almost always a bad thing most of the time. What are you gonna do, right? That's just games, and that's dice, and that's whatever. Like cards can come up randomly too. But the unlimited re-rolling that can be one, 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 right, is pretty brutal in an hour-long game. I would definitely consider, hey, you can pay 3 life to turn 1 die to any face you want, or whatever, because the game already has plenty of luck, and then you want to mitigate that luck rather than subject yourself to it again.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. 1 to reroll, 2 to pip, 3 to face it.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Kind of cool.
The Sir Frostbite, the 4th, his power, obviously there's some issues there. One of them is it didn't actually affect anything in this game. But the other one is it is a very take that power, which is maybe fine. Just depends, on your player base. But if you want some take that action, definitely make it relevant and make it usable by the player who has that power, so that it's cool and fun for them.
Almost more like placing. I think Sasha is the one who said placing a token on somebody's board that covers up 4 squares or something like that.
Sure, or they get to pick which side it's on or whatever. Which obviously that's crazy powerful, and maybe that feels just horrible for everybody else. I don't know. But the way it is right now, it's luck based as far as who feels bad. It's either they get a great roll and the other players feel gross, or they get a bad roll and they feel lame about their power. So I'd at least put the agency in the player's hand in some way.
I think very simply just allowing them to re-roll it could be good enough. But then it feels double bad if you get the same number.
Exactly.
Right. So
it could be the same. It could be one heart to re-roll, 2 hearts to up 1 or down, and 3 to put it on any face.
I would do something like that.
Yeah, totally.
That. And then,
if it's the same.
Yeah, if you're doing that for the other situation, then that actually keeps rules consistency, which is nice.
Yeah.
The biro. I definitely agree with the folks that are saying no refilling or sliding during your buy. I would even go so far as to say you get to buy 1 thing, and then you move on. If you want to buy the really dense, awesome tile, that's great. If you want to buy one that fills up a lot of space, that's great. You buy one, and your turn's done. That, to me, I just wanted that whole phase to take a lot less brain burning. And if and the fact that they slide and change the cost, but I have to figure that all out based on what I might want, and then figure out, can I do that? Oh no, then I won't have enough to do that by 1. But but if it slides, actually maybe I could do this one and this one. I would just take out all of that brain burning and just be like, here's your options, here's what they cost, pick one, you're done. That's what I would prefer, at least. You could, let's see. Yeah, you could have some way of cycling the biro if you want. You could pay a heart to cycle the biro or whatever. But as long as you're just buying once, then I think that won't get too out of control. I don't know. Just to mitigate the luck. Because my plan actually was to buy a ton of shields, and so that's what I was focused on. But just during the gameplay, what was available to me, that wasn't really a thing. So I bought the ones that I could. I would have to go watch the tape and see if I missed any opportunities, but at the beginning of the game, I was like, I'm just going to buy a bunch of shields. And then, obviously, I didn't do that. The cards felt extra and unnecessary and not really like a core aspect of the game. The perpetuals. Until the second half of the game, or once you reach a state where you're not really wanting to fill your board with polyominoes anymore, but you're still getting grumbles. And it's
that's another thing where a single purchase would be useful, because then you're like, You know, I'm only giving up one purchase to probably save enough to buy it. So
So I don't know, you know, if they are extra and unnecessary for your game core system, or if they are a great way to spend Grumble late game. I don't know. Like, to me, I love, you know, hack and slash and cut. But
So the reasons I added them were grumbles are useless toward the end of the game,
right.
especially when you're playing with, you know, the two players and it gets down to the point where you don't really have any space to fill anything, but you still have a couple of rows that are full of grumbles, and then you have tons of grumbles. It gives you one more way to, like, okay, now no matter what I roll, it'll give me that perpetual attack or whatever. It also
What if instead
helps.
of spending life on dice manipulation, you're spending grumbles so that they're always relevant?
Yeah. And the other reason was because, and I tried to price them accordingly, but maybe they could actually go down to like 8 or something, and that would make them more tempting. Like, and I tried to make them the supply and demand. If there's 6 and, you know, total, then, like in this case, US had 3 shields and an attack. If you, then they might actually be like, there might be more motivation for people to buy them early game because they don't want to miss out and not have them later game. The only reason I put them on cards instead of tokens is because I had them on tokens originally, but that would have just been too easy to be thrown in the bag with all the polyominoes and then trying to sort them out. So I stuck them on cards instead. But yeah, mainly just a way for people to use their grumbles and kind of a separate strategy that someone could use, which I've actually seen be used very well. So
yeah, I mean, if it provides an interesting and meaningful strategic pathway, then that's great. Yeah. Reroll 1 die. Again, you're taking my dice randomness and then giving me another dice randomness for my power, which, like, you know, in a dice game, I want meaningful mitigation rather than continued luck. And maybe that's just my personal opinion, but the really small icons are really small. I assume that's less of a big deal in person than over Zoom. But it was really hard for me to tell what was on anybody's board, let alone mine. I was like, are those shields? Are those grumbles? I can't quite tell. It probably in person isn't that big a deal. And you can play around with different ways of representing that. You know, you can have a universal icon where only parts of it light up and there's numbers or whatever. There's different ways of doing it, but probably tiny icons is the best way. I don't know. I don't really think this is a great suggestion, but it's just something to think about. Some type of changing how the turn structure is working, where there's like everybody does their rolls and attacks, and then there's like a general buy phase, and then everybody does their rolls and attacks, and then there's a general buy phase, just kind of splitting that up. I don't think that's actually a great suggestion, but it's just something that came into my mind. Maybe try it once, see if it sucks. It probably does.
There would just be controlling who gets to choose first instead of having like an active player to go all the way around and then moves to the next person.
The reason I said it, the reason it came to my brain is so like for me, I think the average was 10 minutes between turns, and I was just looking to you know, so if we had 2 phases that we were all engaged in, then each of those would be half as long, theoretically, depending on how that actually worked out, you know. And so then I would have a turn every 5 minutes instead of every 10 minutes.
Okay.
Is why I said it. I don't, you know, it might not actually flow great at all, but player elimination, I think you can get away with it in a shorter game. An hour-long game, player elimination is pretty rough. I played 63% of the game, and I did not play 37% of the game.
I would assume that this game is more like half an hour. I
It
think we
probably
doubled our
is.
time
Yeah, that might be true. In person.
describing where we're placing the
That might be
pieces.
true.
Placing the polyominoes and me just having to roll the dice, refresh the market and everything.
Yeah.
Did take, normally I'd say 10 minutes a player. I've played with my wife hundreds of times and it's usually like 15-minute game.
Yeah.
With 4 people, usually it gets a little closer to 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But it does speed up a lot.
Yeah.
I was surprised I'm gonna fly through the one and go into another game, but yeah, it took a while.
Yeah, and that's great, but at 4 players, 35 minutes, even then, I'd be pretty salty about missing 40% of that game.
Yeah.
Which, like, how often does that happen? I don't know, but that was just the feeling. And the ways you can mitigate that in a game where you're like literally trying to kill each other
So
are
I was there was one idea I had, well, 2 ideas actually. One was either giving someone like once you're out, you can still roll the. No, that wasn't it. I had thought of one, but I can't think of it right now. So go ahead.
Yeah, I just think some way of staying involved would be great.
Yeah.
Even if it's only minimally meaningful, like if it's a little bit meaningful, then I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can help King make or whatever.
Yeah.
Keep me involved in some way. That's my preference, at least. Maybe, if it really is a 15-minute game, then player elimination is fine. But once you get up to 35 in a 4-player game, to me, that's too long of a game to have to be missing 40% of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like the idea of, spend 1 to reroll, 2 to pip up or down, or 3 to set it. I think that's pretty cool. Kind of gives you the choice, the option of, if you're feeling lucky. I would never feel lucky. I would either do the 2 or the 3, but that's okay. Some players like that, and they would choose the 1, and that's great. The abilities in my.
Do you think I'll need to add 1 or 2 health to everyone just so that it doesn't feel quite as, or do you think that will impact it in a good way?
Not necessarily need to do
Because
it.
I was trying to get it to be where you end up feeling good about your grid, like how far along you've developed your grid. And if you're spending 2 or 3 to mitigate, then it's going to be more about having 1 or 2 good column and rows instead of developing your whole grid.
Not necessarily, because you also, you want to get the economy going, especially if you're buying 1 per unit. You want to add more grumbles to your board. So you'll want to add grumbles and balance that with attacks. So you'll need to fill up your board. And if it's still column and row to unlock your power, people will still do it. So I don't think it would mess things up too bad, especially if you're not sliding your buy row.
My biggest worry is if you have a token that has a double heart in it, like I did, and I just always just set both my dice to that, and then just super stack that row and column.
But if you have hearts, you don't have damage. So you're trading something where it's like, are you just staying put by healing health you're spending?
Yeah, I mean, but I had a double heart token, and so I would only be losing 1 heart to do that. So if I had a heart in any other row or column with that, then 4 of my spots could be just other good stuff.
I don't think that choosing to spend all of your action and spend a bunch of hearts to net a few extra hearts is actually a big concern.
Well, I wasn't doing for netting hearts. I just every single turn I do the exact same thing, and I just keep getting the 3 or 4 pip things all in the same row or column.
Oh right, and then you just
do that every time.
You could
that could be an interesting, fun strategy. That could be a thing that you're going for, but
Yeah, I mean,
I would try that.
if that was an issue, you could just have like one cube that goes in the crosshair of what you last chose, and like you can't do that again, or whatever. Just some way of mitigating that if that becomes an issue. But yeah, I could see what you're talking about. I can see that you could like min max that. Of course, then you're taking up space with the hearts.
Yeah,
And then
but
how good is that?
the
column?
double heart one doesn't take up that much space.
Yeah.
Double heart.
Well,
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if
I
it was
would
an issue.
mix double heart if I do that anyway.
Oh, right. I'm not even certain it would be an issue, but it would be interesting to see if it could be.
Yeah.
Yep. So in my opinion, the abilities, number one, were not powerful enough or interesting enough to use, and number two, they were not relevant early enough in the game. So one thing you could do, obviously, there's a infinite number of ways you could modify those abilities. The idea that popped to my brain is when a column or row is completed, your ability's online. You already talked about that. And then when you have the other thing, right, when you have the column and the row, then it's doubled. Or powered up,
Right.
So like Jack would hit you back for 2 every time, and I would get to reroll twice, and Wes would get to pip up or down his frost die or whatever. So you'd have your less good ability with one and then when you have both, you get your better version of the ability. Just so the abilities come online earlier in the game, so that they feel more relevant to the game.
Okay. Yeah.
The idea that you're hitting everyone is very interesting.
That's an actual that's an ability that I had added as well. One is like you can assign both dice to columns or rows instead of one each. Another one would be attack everyone, but to kind of soften it, it was also like if you ever gain hearts, everyone gains them too.
Yeah.
So you'd be hurting and helping everyone at the same time.
I really liked the suggested change also to how the shields work, so that they're more homogeneous with the rest of the system. Just so the system flows better, where you're gaining shields when you roll, rather than you can like roll and then buy a tile and like tack on shields after your roll in a weird way that it works nothing like the rest of the system. Where you have, you build up a bank of shields when you roll, bam, I've got 4 shields. And then one player hits me, oh shoot, my shields are gone. Right? And then the next player hits me. It basically gets rid of the Sasha problem from this turn. From this game, where he was ahead. There was no chance of us killing him because of the way shields worked.
Right.
Like after a certain point in the game, right? Like if we had attacked him all together early, then yeah, sure. But at partway through the game, there was basically no chance of killing him because of the way shields work. And I would say, like, if we wanted to gang up on a player, we should be able to do it. And if you build a bank of shields that get depleted, that would do that.
What if I did a die to track shields so that it could never be more than 6?
To me, a die is an unnecessary product cost, and I would just do a little slider on your board with a cube or something.
Okay, that makes sense too. But do you think then maybe I can just add that to asymmetrical abilities? This person can have 5, this 6, yeah.
Sure.
Like a max shield.
You've already got the heart numbers, so if you had the cube slider below the hearts, wherever the cube is the shield value. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Or just a cube token.
And then and then your system is once again working even more kind of fluently, and the way things are working are less disparate, and it's going to be a lot quicker to grok and play. And then the buy row cost, if you felt like you needed to mitigate how high it gets, You could do something like 3, 4, 5, 5 and damage, 5 and 2 damage. You know, something like that, where you're paying life instead of grumbles or whatever. Aside from that,
Bob also said he'd love to see the abilities come into play sooner.
Yeah.
As they help support the theme.
Yeah. Oh, good night, Bob.
Yeah.
Good
night, Bob.
Oh no, he said good thoughts, not good night.
Yeah, good thoughts.
Aside from that stuff, you know, my issue with unmitigatable randomness, and player elimination, and just some systems that I think could use some like, I think it's a great idea. I think I really like the basic system. I really like the basic conceit of the game. You know, the theme is fun, and the basic mechanisms are fun. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. I'll definitely rewatching this and taking notes. And I'm supposed to today, actually, I was supposed to order my prototypes to send to reviewers, but now I'm going to rework it a bit.
And then have to play test it a bunch and then reiterate.
Yeah.
So tell us this, Josh, as you hear some of this feedback, you're looking at your own game. What kind of shakes to the top for you of feedback that you heard tonight? Anything that you're like, oh, geez, yeah, I need to change that? Or
so a couple things that conflict with the solo play. The refreshing, I think, was probably a decision based on solo play. So because it made it a lot more puzzly. But if I keep everything the same, then I might have to, because basically right now, you win about 1 out of, like, if you play with a lot of thinking, you win about 1 out of 10 times. But
for a game like this, I think you might have to consider the percentage of people that would buy your game for solo versus multiplayer is probably much lower. So you'd want to prioritize multiplayer experience and minimize solo, because it might only be 2% of your audience will actually buy it for solo play.
True. Yeah, I do, because I'm playtesting my own game and my wife has her limits. I do really. But yeah, for sure.
That's the reason I play multiplayer by myself. That's why I have the split personality, right? I got to play 3 players sometimes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I would say my favorite takeaway is the different types of dice mitigation, spending more hearts for different ways to make it less luck based. And then the abilities, I do, because I have played the game a lot of times and I know what strategies to work for. I see the abilities coming into play more. I feel like you guys were buying the 3s instead of, like, almost like letting the polyominoes play you more than you play the polyominoes in a sense, which I think a second play you would be able to do it completely different with, like, oh, I'm gonna go for my ability, or I'm gonna go for whatever. But I think that that I will look into making a like, I still want to keep all those things able to be, I guess, different paths to success, but at the same time make sure that like maybe lower the, I think if the polyominoes don't slide, then until the end of your turn, then I would say, because first I was thinking, well, then you need more grumbles to be able to actually buy things that you want. But then only buying 1, suddenly you don't need more polyominoes to buy them. And then also the idea of like 3, 4, 5, 5 and a heart, 5 and 2 hearts, whatever. I think that, or 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, will make it a lot less luck based. You know, this is how much I can afford, so I have to settle for this. But even with a 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, now suddenly you have 2 4s and 2 5s that suddenly become valid decisions. So I think that, and then the dice mitigation are 2 of my biggest and now just balancing those.
Cool. Awesome. Any last minute thoughts before we or any questions about your game that you kind of hoped that we would touch on, or you had questions about that nobody really talked about?
Sure. Just a couple. One is the do you think a row to unlock your ability? Do you think a row is that right side up?
Yeah.
Do you think a row would be better? Like, could you consider this a row once? Oops. There. Here we go. Could you consider this a row because there's an icon in all of the spaces, or does a row have to be, for example, like this one doesn't have anything in this? Do you know what I'm saying? Like it has a blank space versus this one is full. Or do you think, because in that case, I could maybe make it.
I think the way you have it now is more fair because you already have asymmetrics going on, and that could create all kinds of math problems. I think the way you have it already is the safer way.
With frostbite, then you would only need 1, 2.
Yeah, you might trigger it too early that way.
Yeah. Okay. And then another one, and this one I'm pretty sure I'm not going to add because I am trying to keep the game simple, but I played around with this idea of giving statuses. So basically, I would create other polyominoes that maybe would be less heavy on multiple icons. Maybe on this one, there would be a grumble and a green triangle, for example, and the green triangle would be able to kind of add a status for someone else. So it could like make them dizzy, confused or whatever. So if I gave you this token, whatever that was for that character, almost like they would have a power, but they'd also have a weakness. So if they had the triangle token, then they couldn't re-roll the first die, or they had to put the first die on a column, and or they couldn't buy, they could only buy a polyomino that cost this, or maybe their perpetuals were out of, almost like offline, if you call it that, until, and so like it would be a status that I could give you. Like if I rolled it and chose to assign my die to something that had that green triangle, then even though I would also be, losing some other better abilities. For example, this one, if you picture this having nothing except a green triangle in the middle, then you're losing out on some other good stuff. But now I can inflict on this person who's winning, I can inflict the ability to re-roll on them. Or
yeah, my thinking with that is that's something I would like to see in like an expansion of this game with additional cards. So you have like cards that allow you to do cool stuff, and then you also have polyominoes that are different with new abilities. But I think that adds too much to think about.
Yeah, I would keep it slick.
Okay. All right.
But I'd love to see that in an expansion.
Yeah.
Make sure it isn't. And let's see, I had another one, but I'm trying to find it. Okay, well, I don't see it right now, but I think you answered most of them indirectly, because there was a few things that felt a little lopsided to me, especially with attacking the person with the fewest shields. And I really like that idea of, once you run out of your shields, like I could attack you just to take out your shield so someone else could attack you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, which suddenly would make shields less valuable, which is technically important if I have those, especially double shield tokens.
But, yeah, and then shields kind of gain more value as more people are eliminated, right? Like it's a long play still, so it still sort of serves that same purpose.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Cool. Well, yeah, Josh, thank you for being on with us, staying up late, showing us your game. How can people follow along with Grumblestone?
So I have the coming soon on Kickstarter already. So if you go to Kickstarter and go to just look up Grumblestone, you can follow it there. You can also follow it by going to bluefoxgames.com and signing up for our newsletter, or you can participate in decisions like reworking the names of the golems and picking some different kinds of artwork for it and whatever by going to Blue Fox Insider on Facebook. So any of those three ways. And I have a landing page on Dragon Egg Games, which I think Jack is familiar with because I am working with Max. So yeah, so if you go to dragonegggames.com/Grumblestone, you can sign up for the newsletter, Blue Fox Games Insider on Facebook, or the Kickstarter, just looking up Grumblestone on Kickstarter.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, man. I really am excited to see how you end up, handling all this stuff in the game and what the final thing plays like.
Awesome.
Wes, tell the kids at home how they can find and support you and what you do.
Best thing you can do is find me on Facebook and harass me however you want, whether it's direct message or in one of the many, many groups that I'm part of.
That's fair. Sasha, how can people find and support you?
Well, my game about pigeons called Dovecote is the main one that I've sort of been pushing. There's a Facebook group, Dovecote the board game, but then I think there's a link to our Discord server, S&E Games, which is where we do like playtesting and stuff for designs. So I think that's what's linked in the description.
Yeah. Jack, how can people find and support you?
Yeah, Jack Dunbar on Facebook or newkingdomgaming.com. There you can follow along with our various projects. We've got Prestige coming in the spring, and we've got Tribulation coming after that. So working on a game right now about defeating evil at the end of the world. So pretty cool.
Nice. Dude, I still I love that art for Tribulation, just the title.
Yeah.
It looks so awesome.
Yeah, Falk did a great job with that.
Yeah, Falk's great.
I am Evan Halbert. Go buy After the Empire, and probably an expansion will come out for that next year. Go buy that, and then I'll probably have some other games coming out in the next several years, and buy all of those as well. Josh, thanks again for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad that for the most part your internet held out. And I'm very impressed with your prototyping skills out there. They're better than mine, despite all the resources at my fingertips.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Nice.
That was fun. Have a great night. And thanks everybody in the chat. Let's see what we missed.
We missed
Bob said.
Thanks, Bob.
Bob said he would want to win at least once out of every 4 games to play solo. He prefers more like 33 or 50%, but 25% is acceptable. He likes tweaking the cost of the market. And he says, good night. Good night,
Awesome.
everybody.
Good night, Bob.